welcome to episode 2 of series 2 of Run With. Today I talked to Russell Bentley, the track runner turned fell runner. He has won the Snowdonia Marathon twice, he has an impressive marathon PB of 2:20, and most recently he has completed the Paddy Buckley Winter Round. I catch up with Russell and we talk everything about running, training and his latest adventure. Lovely to be talking with you today, Russell. We're squeezing in a quick Run With interview.
Hi Kelly, how you doing? Nice to see you.
I'm good, and it's really great to catch up with you, especially after your latest endeavours, which we will talk about lots.
Great, good job.
But what I wanted to just briefly touch upon, because I know we're short of time today, is let's just do a brief, for anybody that's new to you, brief history of your running. How did you get into running? What's your background?
I beat a bully in the school sports day, and in the race I didn't beat him up, but I beat him in a race, and I got into running that way. Really, I was like, I can beat bullies in races.
Great,
So,
I love that.
Yeah, that was the beginning, and I started at track and got a lot of injuries in track, so moved to road and marathon where you can go a bit slower. The family moved to Snowdonia, and we fell in love with the fells or the mountains. So yeah, doing a lot more of that now, especially with lockdown, with so few organized races. I can just get up on the mountains pretty much as I want.
Yeah.
And so yeah, big time into the mountains now.
So nothing. Yeah, it's quite nice because it's quite a remote thing to do, isn't it? The mountain running and out on the trails there. So
yeah, especially here, Snowdonia, there's not they don't get used that much. Maybe a fifth of the visitors that the Lake District has. So often I have the mountains entirely to myself, which it feels crazy. It feels too good to be true sometimes. So yeah, really lucky. It rains a lot though. We get a lot of rain.
But it is Wales. Was it North Wales?
Yeah, North Wales is even worse than Wales, I think. Yeah, so you get it down there enough, but we get a lot of rain, so you pay for it, but it's worth it. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah, definitely. So you started off a track, and like you said, you picked up quite a few injuries on track.
Yeah, well, that's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. Probably it just wasn't good enough, but I trained really hard under this brutal coach, the late Frank Horwill, and he just had this kind of what's the analogy with the spaghetti? You just get enough spaghetti and throw it at a wall.
It'll stick.
Some bits will stick. I didn't stick. I just fell like a mess onto the floor, like a broken piece of spaghetti. So, my Achilles were just ruptured and just big problems. Couldn't walk hardly. I had to warm up for longer periods just to get able to train. By the age of 23, 24, I was walking around like a cripple. So I did actually manage to fix a lot of those problems by changing the way I ran a bit, but I never really got the same speed on the track again. Yeah, but that's okay.
That's okay.
Right. I'm not too bitter about it.
You're not? Oh, there's still something there. And you spent some time in Kenya.
Yes, Kenya. Kenya was massive for me. I went when I was 19, I think. Yeah, it was the first time I went like on a gap year thing, Do you remember those when people could fly all around the world and do whatever? Oh my God, yeah, we were lucky. So I met my mum is a chatterbox, and it seems like everybody in Ireland they all know each other. So Brother Colin O'Connor is like this legendary Irish coach. My mum just like picked up the phone and spoke to him. It was like, "Oh, my son wants to come and train with you, so you should let him do it." And he was like, okay. And then, I don't know why my mum just turned Chinese all of a sudden.
It worked. She turned Chinese.
Didn't really, but so I got to train with Brother Colin McConnell in one of the most famous running camps in the world, St. Patrick's. And that was a seminal for me. I went back to try and go to uni, and I only lasted a year. I just couldn't really stay away from Kenya. So I spent a large part of my life going to and from Kenya, because it really doesn't cost much to live out there. You can live for long periods of time on really short amount of money if you're prepared to live, the way the Kenyans do. And so I really enjoyed it. I learned the language, made lots of friends out there. It's warm all year round, so you get rainy season, but wonderful mangoes as well. Best mangoes in the world.
Amazing. Sounds like it's got a firm place in your heart, I think.
Although I don't know, I don't really get the opportunity to speak Swahili much anymore, so I'm trying to learn Welsh now, which is infinitely harder. I don't know how your Gymraeg is, but
Matt's tried teaching me some Welsh, and all I've picked up is Borada. That's not. And what's microwave? Property
ping.
Yeah. Sounds like microwave, doesn't it? Because it goes ping.
Yeah, because it goes ping. Yeah, it's what's that? Onomatopoeic.
Yeah. So when it comes to Harry, I think I'm doing. Every morning I go into him in his bedroom. I pick up the baby and I go Borada.
There you go, dual language.
But it is incredibly difficult Welsh, right?
Oh well, I mean, my little girl's 3 or 4, I should know. She speaks it fluently already, so really I've got no excuse. I should get on with it. But
although I did see you was it on Channel 4? The
S4C.
4C. That's it. It was on the Welsh Channel
the Welsh
4, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You were speaking Welsh then, weren't you?
No, well, I don't know if that was me. I think Rob Samuel was speaking the Welsh. And I was trying to keep up. The bits that I spoke, they just cut out because I think I was just talking gibberish. So I thought I was doing really good, and they just cut.
Stick to the English.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense at all. Probably I don't know, probably swearing at elves or something.
It's a great watch, though. Not that I can understand much of it, but I kind of got the gist of it. You will always get each other's teams.
Basically, just running. It doesn't take a lot to work out what's going on.
Yeah, no, exactly. And you've done an awful lot in your running career. I mean, you've won Snowdonia Marathon twice. Is that right?
That's correct. Twice, yeah. So I'm kind of a big deal, Not everybody wins Snowdonia Marathon twice.
No, wow.
Samuel's won it 3 times, so he did point that out to me when we were doing smack talk. But
any chance of going for a third?
Yeah, never say never. I don't know. It's right on my doorstep. If it goes ahead, I'd love to have a crack. It'd be great to have a race where there's really good competition at the front. When I've done it in the past, I've always had a few minute lead, and it's not that was boring or anything. I was still flat out, but I'd love to have a ding dong battle with a few other guys all fighting, vying for the lead. So hopefully we can get that together. I know the organizer quite well, and they've been talking about that, really trying to get a good push 2021. I think there's going to be a lot of people really, really biting at the bit to do every race they can.
For sure. Yeah. Where was I? So we were talking about you've done a fair few. Well, you've done Berlin Marathon, haven't you?
Yes. I am.
Good. I like the number that you come in with. That very even. 20.
20. Oh yeah, 2020. No, 2020. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. But it was, it was really wet. And if Eliud Kipchoge could complain and say, the weather was too bad to run a fast time that day, then I'm definitely going to say that was my excuse. I would have been flying under Sep 220 if it wasn't for that rain.
So the difference between the 2 marathons, there's quite a big difference between the style of marathons.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm presuming that the Snowdonia kind of marathon floats your boat a little bit more than the road?
Yeah, it does. With Berlin and London and any flat marathon race, I'd say you really just have to get into that zone of not like boredom, but just letting the miles all just tick off. Just really get into your zone. But with Snowdonia, there's always a mountain to run up or down. It really breaks it up. The whole thing is, it's more painful because you're working like flat out up the hills because you can recover coming down them, so you can go right into red zone. But you're enjoying. You're out in the spectacle. You're out in it, and it just goes so much quicker. It sounds a bit crazy, but I much prefer the Snowdonia Marathon. I mean, it's brutal and it's cruel. They put this mountain right at the end of it, And then after you've run 2 miles uphill, you have to come down on mud. And it's the only mud for 26 miles. So everybody's in road shoes. So everybody slips on their butt. Like, it's really hard to stay on your feet, especially after you've got like 25 miles of running in your legs. Is actually quite hilarious, to be honest. Like,
yeah, I can imagine it's who falls down the most efficient.
Yeah. And you just got to keep sliding on your bum. Like, there's definitely a technique to it. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Slide it out. Yeah. So even the best looking runners, they still fall in their butt and look like idiots. Everyone at home is laughing. Yeah.
Okay, now your latest accomplishment is amazing. So you've just done the Paddy Buckley Winter Round. Did you do it in reverse? So
to December 1st?
In reverse.
I did it in reverse. Yeah, it was difficult, just stubborn. Yeah. No, there's a race around here that goes in reverse, and it's part of the Paddy Buckley, and it's kind of like my local loop, and I can do it with my eyes closed. And so to do it the wrong way around, it's like, I don't know if you've run the wrong way around the track, it just feels really wrong. So I just went recceing the whole thing the wrong way around, and I never really found a good enough reason not to carry on that way. So I thought, oh well, screw it, I'll have a go.
Have a go, and have a go, you did, and it's pretty epic. So for anybody that doesn't know, it is 62 miles. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
47 summits.
Yes. Very good. Yeah.
And that's just.
Yeah, it's a lot of summits, and I was navving myself, so I was doing it what's called solo and unsupported, because it's one of these. No crew, yeah, just went out and did it on my own. That was the thing, like, that really scared me, and I think you need a bit of that fear in your training, especially over lockdown. I realized I just couldn't get out of bed without races. I just couldn't be bothered. So I managed to find something that meant something to me. And the fact that it was solo scared the hell out of me, and it got me out of bed in the rain, got me out running and training seriously, because I knew if I missed one summit, which people have done, the whole thing would be screwed, and there's nothing worse than the fear of losing all that work. So I really, really buckled down on the nav, and I made sure I ticked off all the coppers, they call summits in Gymraeg, and some of the names are very hard to say in Gymraeg, so it's hard to remember without being able to put the names. So I had to learn the names in Welsh as well. So it was a lot going on in my little brain. So I'm not very good at nav anyway. So that was another big challenge, but it made it really exciting actually, and it did really break it up, because you're in the one hand you're in pain and you're tired and hungry, but on the other you're like, which one is it? I gotta get this summit right, or the whole thing's screwed up. Yeah.
So I can imagine that being, as well as the physical exertion you're going through, the mental fatigue must just make it double whammy.
It's different, yeah. But it's new, and I'm, how old am I now? 25, 26. I had 15 years. So give or take 15 years. I like the fact that I can find these, new ways to challenge myself. You think you've been and done it and been around the block and done everything a million times to death, and then this was brand new for me. And so it was a great experience. I won't say I loved every minute of it, but I did really enjoy it. Yeah, so I'm hoping to get out there and do it again actually.
And do you think, because you did do it for personal reasons as well, Chris Smith?
Yeah. Oh, did you read my blog?
I did. I absolutely.
Oh, you've done your research. Well done.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So it wasn't a linear thing. Like, okay, Chris Smith has passed, I'm going to do Paddy Buckley, but it was like such a beautiful character. I don't think you've met him. He was more in the mountain scene, but he really is one of those people that everybody loves. Nobody could possibly say a bad word about Chris Smith. He was just such a wonderful human being, and when he passed, it just woke me up. Like, wow, life is short. Somebody as strong as that, who was so good in the mountains, could get taken. I was like, wow, what am I waiting for? I might not have a chance to do this again. You just don't know. So Yeah, I did that. I decided I didn't want to do the Paddy Buckley Winter because it was cold and I had this knee injury and it was rainy. And then something as big as that happened, and I realized all those excuses just sounded so stupid. And I didn't want to look back, 10 years going, what was I moaning about? Like, why didn't I just get do it? And so I'm really glad that I did. Yeah. And I managed to raise a bit of money for his memorial fund. And I was so proud of that, and the messages that I got from his family in support of it all. That just meant the world to me. So yeah, it was a really great experience.
You can really tell what it meant to you from reading your blog post on it.
Oh, yeah.
For everybody that's watching this, I do recommend going and checking out Russell's blog. I will put your links.
Yes.
Definitely check out that. I actually got a bit emotional reading it when in
good. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I didn't know, to go there because I had this kind of, it's so horrible to say because these words, they get bandied around so often, they lose their meaning. So I was, worried about using the word spiritual, and I think that I didn't, because it becomes religious, and then people who aren't religious, then they just tune out, and you don't want that. But yeah, I had this this experience where I just got this memory of him. His wife had set up this book, a memorial book, and all I could think of was running related memories. And I was like, but I knew him really well a long time ago, and it wasn't just running. We wouldn't even talk about running a lot of the time when we were together. But all I could think of were these running related memories, and everyone had put running related memories. And then I just got this one, like this flash. I think I said like a sunbeam out of the clouds, but totally not running related memory of what an amazing, special guy, genuine person he was. And even just having that one memory come back to me from 20 years ago, it made the whole round worth it for me. So it was very emotional, and that's okay. I decided to put it all down because why not? It happens. Yeah.
No, but I love that. I do love that you're not afraid to put it.
I was, to be honest with you, I was. But Nina, my wife, she's my editor in chief. If she says it goes in. If she cuts it, she'll tell me, yeah, that's crap. That's coming.
Well, we've got her to thank then, because I am glad. I'm sure that anybody that goes and read it will feel the same as well.
Oh, well, thanks, Kelly. Cheers.
So let's talk just briefly. I don't know what time we're on now. I know you've got a dash.
Kids and family.
Life.
I mean, I can't even talk to you. You're my hero. I'd love to have 4 kids, but whenever I ask Nina, she says, well, will you do any more of the work, and less sleep? And I said, no, I can't.
Yeah, we don't talk about sleep at the moment. That's
You're not getting my sleep, I take it.
No, not at all.
I don't know. You're a superhero. I don't know how people operate, how mothers do that. I need my 8 or 9 hours sleep a night, or I'm just rubbish. So
I do look at the baby sometimes, like, I absolutely love sleep. I love it more than anything, I think. Your dad loves sleep, so why aren't you sleeping? Why haven't you inherited this?
Yeah, I know. It doesn't seem to work that way.
No, not at all. So let's just very quickly, you've got a dash. What about fueling for the Paddy Buckley? It's just gels, was it?
Oh man, Kelly, have you got any advice? You've done an ultra run before, I'm aware. At least one or a few now. Because I've read your blog as well. You've done a couple now. So I just don't fancy anything, and gels, they go down the quickest. Everything else you've got to chew and masticulate, or whatever the big word is. So, but I tell you what's happened to me now. I had 44 gels in a day. Okay, 44. Can you imagine lining up? I still can't take any sugar. And I'm someone who would sit in front of Netflix and I would nail, one of the yellow bags of M&Ms.
Yeah.
I could do it myself, no problem. Or like a Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah.
I could just tidy that away for you. But I haven't even been able to touch anything sweet since, for 2 weeks. I'm just still like burning. So I have to work it out. So don't come to me for advice. Like, if you got any advice, because I'm just lost with the nutrition. I've come from the background of 800 meters, so it's over in 2 minutes. You don't need any nutrition, and it's kind of crept up with me.
Mine 44 gels. I mean, I could probably top out at 6.
Oh man!
And then I start getting serious tummy problems, and I just can't. I can't physically swallow it. It crags.
Yeah, I had to hold my breath, hold my nose, do it, then get the water in quick. But it was the least worst option. Like I had some peanut butter wraps. I pulled up when I was 40 miles in. I was in Llanberis, and I was really like had a lot of time on my hands because I had to download the app, and it was for the navigation, and it was not working. So I was like, you know what? I'll just go into shop and get anything I want. And I didn't want anything. There's just nothing I could think of that I could eat. So yeah, what do you have a go-to like that you would suggest I try?
Better sandwiches, yes.
Yeah, maybe the sandwiches. Yeah, I did a wrap.
Maybe white bread, you know.
Yeah, just easy.
Yeah,
maybe I'll go
easy, quite easy. But then I can eat a picnic on the move. You know, I'm quite adaptable.
Really? Yeah. So that's a real skill. I'm finding that is a talent.
I did have. I used to trial foods like on runs. So I'd be like, I think one time I took Scotch eggs because somebody told me Scotch eggs were really good.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow, that sounds rough. That sounds really
Baby
rough.
bells also no.
No, I can't imagine cheese would work for me. But
it's quite good training though.
I'll try the peanut butter and the white bread. That sounds good.
Peanut butter and white bread. That's really good.
But in fact, that's what I had when I got home. Nina put me in the bath, and I had some toast, white toast with peanut butter. So
you definitely got to start before you hit that point where your stomach's going to go nut.
Yeah,
got to start early.
It just closes down.
Yeah,
that's right. So that was my only problem, really. And yeah, I'm gonna figure that one out and come back. Yeah, and do it properly next time.
So what are the last? We'll try and get one in quickly. So what are the next goals?
Yeah, well, I'd like to get the winter record. To be honest with you, I was on for it for a while, and then I had this problem with low cloud in the dark and my head torch, and it was all just blinding me. So I felt really frustrated in that I had loads of energy and I just couldn't move because I couldn't see anything. Kept falling over. So if I do get a window of nicer weather where it's not just like this right now with the rain, I might go for it. I would love to get a sub 220 marathon. This Wrexham marathon is coming up. Yeah. I know your man Matt Clowes is he was on, was it the last episodes or?
Yeah, he was the last episode of.
Yeah, he's in Wrexham, so I think there's going to be a good few runners there, just because there's not going to be a London in April. But the other thing is I want to be able to do a backflip. I'm really keen on that. Yeah, I'm going to be 40 next year. I can do it on the high jump mat, no problem at all. As soon as I get onto like sand, I just freak out. You know, I just like abort halfway through. And
you got to get this sorted.
Got to get the mentals.
Yeah, you got to believe in you want to achieve.
No, I just don't have the belief yet, Kelly. So I'm gonna go to like one of those like parkour classes. I'll be the oldest guy there by like 30 years.
I love it. Well, I will leave the acrobatics to you. I managed to break my big toe doing a headstand. So
but didn't you break your wrist coming down Snowdon or something like that?
No, Ben Nevis.
Oh, was it? Oh, well, at least it was the big one.
You know, I did the typical, you know, when you slide, because I ran down, I thought, you know, trying to make up time doing the beats. And it was running water on the stones, didn't really think about it, you know. I did that typical fall on your ass, put your hands out.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's bad, yeah. I've broken my wrist with rollerblading. It still hurts now, yeah.
I tell you what, rollerblading. Yeah, no, that's... Maybe one day you can have a go at the Berlin inline marathon.
That looks amazing. Yeah, I do have that on my. Yeah, and I do a backflip over the finish line when I win.
Yeah. I think we might have to start wrapping you up in cotton wool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know.
Well, it's been absolutely lovely catching up with you. It's been brief but very fun.
Yeah. Thanks loads, Kelly. Well, listen, say hi to Matt and tell him to stop being a wuss and getting up here and do the marathon Arari.
Yeah, do some proper running.
Do a proper marathon. Yeah, exactly.
Well, enjoy your evening, and I shall talk to you very soon.
All right, bye, Kelly.
Thanks, Russell, bye. I really hope that you've enjoyed today's episode with Russell. He's a great guy, and do make sure that you go and follow along. I will put all of his links below so you can go and catch up with him on social media. If you have enjoyed this episode today, please do make sure to hit the subscribe button so you know when future episodes are coming out. I will be back very shortly with another Run With interview. Until then, stay safe and happy running.